The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and John Doe.
Hi.
Hello.
And first up, because these guys aren't going to get a choice, and I love these guys, this place so much, I'm going to talk about GoG. Because we recently got an announcement from them that they're getting God of War and the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection.
I really hope someone, when they first release it, misspells it to GoG of War, and I'd be so happy.
That should be the edition they release, the GoG of War edition.
No, that's the name of this podcast now, GoG of War.
What's more amazing is Sony is releasing a DRM-free version of these games.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Like, if we were, like, a couple years deep into them putting out games on, like, on Steam and stuff, I'd be like, oh yeah, fucking tracks, that makes sense. There's, like, 6 games they've released on PC, and they're already willing to put 2 of them, and 2 big ones. This isn't like Returnal, which is a good game, don't get me wrong, I really loved Returnal, but it's a bit more niche.
Yeah.
But this is God of War, like the Norse one, and Uncharted. It's like that. Those are big titles, and now they're going to have
staple games
DRM.
of PlayStation. Like, they were PlayStation staples for so fucking long.
God of War sold consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was genuinely surprised that Sony haven't tried to not so much release their own storefront, but at least their own launcher.
Yeah, I'm surprised
There
about
were rumors that they were gonna, but it doesn't seem to have ever turned
Gone
into
anywhere.
anything.
They probably saw
But-
just how much it would cost and the amount of ones that have already, not quite failed, but they never take off the same way. Like, it's not a solid investment for any company now, but they keep trying.
But
think
doing it,
they're more-
like, releasing it on GOG makes it less and less likely that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
So,
Definitely.
fucking, it's great news. Fuck yeah. There's less chance of another launcher needing to be fucking installed on my system. And you're getting more games DRM free and great fucking games.
Yeah.
So,
bring on the rest of the Sony catalog.
fucking oath. Like, hopefully when they do release Spider-Man 2 on PC, it drops on GOG at the same time. Or when Forbidden West comes out, it drops on GOG at the same time. Like, that would be fucking awesome.
I'd
And
be
it's-
quite happy with that.
It's got to be a massive feather in GOG's cap as well. Because previously, like, their big claim to fame was like, look, we put out The Witcher 3 DRM free day one, and it sold like bananas. It was insane. And they did that on a completely DRM free platform, but it was their own game, so there was a lot of like, meh. This is Sony, one of the biggest developers out there, going,
Yeah.
okay, DRM free on GOG.
And
That's
nitpicky
good.
that won't want to fucking release shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's released DRM, which does open it up for piracy to a certain point. Like, it does. But for Sony to actually come out and release this kind of thing,
Yeah.
it
I
just
didn't
shows the
think we'd
reach
ever
that
get a
GOG
game
has.
without it. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I thought we'd have to, pry DRM from Sony's cold, dead hands before we give it up.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Ah.
Like, there's current PC devs who won't release on fucking GOG.
Yeah.
Who won't let go of the DRM. For Sony to do it is fucking massive. So, this is great news for all gamers. Just
100%.
hopefully we get more of it.
Hopefully it starts a trend of DRM just going the back end, because DRM doesn't really do much. It gives you maybe a week at most before the guys crack it and get around it.
Yeah.
But that extra week, that first week, no longer performs the way they used to. It's like box office sales when a movie first comes out. Everyone's like, oh yes, the first night it made this much. It's like, no one fucking cares. Like, the first night isn't the standard anymore. It's what you make over the period of it being out.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting them back to that level.
The way games are releasing, launch day is pre-alpha, a week later is alpha, 3 months later you might come out of beta, and then at some point after that is when the game should have been fucking released.
Pretty much. Like, there's so many of them.
So Sony's current thing of locking it to the console for a year, 2 years, whatever they're doing, to me just feels like they're holding it in beta until I do a full release.
Yeah.
Like, console just feels like early access when they're doing that.
Well, I mean, when we get our PC release, we usually get the like full DLC Game of the Year version of...
Yeah, the actual version I want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's been fixed.
Yeah, with all the patches, like, and then they still do have to fix the PC optimization and all the little feely bits that they seem to jam in that will fix fucking 5 patches go on the console. But yeah.
Actually, that's a weird question. What are the contenders for Game of the Year this year?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate is basically going to win it. We know that much, but
yeah, that's
who are the
by a
contenders for
long fucking
runner-up? That's the question. Who's the contender for second place?
Well, going by sheer sales and expectation, it'd be Starfield, Spider-Man 2. Neither have reviewed greatly, but
I
just
have
for
to look at a list of games that came out at the start of the year.
Yeah. I will get to it.
For sheer people that like what people have enjoyed, Baldur's Gate. If they can include DLC, the Cyberpunk DLC.
Like I finished Phantom Liberty. It's amazing. Like it is legit. Like absolute. Like it's disgustingly good compared to the rest of the game.
I've started a new playthrough of it, and I just keep getting sidetracked every time. It's like, right, you need to come here. Yeah, but there's a thing over there, and I just want to look at that, and oh shit, I'm lost again.
Just let me look at things.
Oh, I put in another 70-hour playthrough to play Phantom Liberty, and once I got to Phantom Liberty, it was like, oh my god, this is better. The level design's better, the side activities are better, the fix is integrated with the main plot line. Pacifica makes sense now as it's attached to Dogtown. They did better. They actually had, for lack of a better way to put it, dungeons, which were just like big building complexes you had to cleave your way through to get to the glorious goodies at the other end. It's just like everything was better in such an egregiously good way.
Promised.
Yeah, it was.
Everything
really
about
was.
It, even just loading up and starting it and playing it like pre-Phantom Liberty and post-Phantom Liberty is 2 different games. Very different games.
Very much
I mean, the 2.0 patch was the big one there.
Yeah. So, yeah. If they include DLC, I'd almost consider Cyberpunk to be a full relaunch. I'd include it in it.
Yeah,
just
like
for the impact it's had.
Fixed, like, the amount of work they put into fixing all that shit. It's like, that's basically a different game now.
Yeah. But I honestly can't even think of any games that came out this year before Baldur's Gate. I can't even remember.
Yeah, no, like Baldur's Gate has basically like overwritten everything else.
Yeah, I would have to look at a list of games to know.
I'd have to go
and
back
you look at that list and go, "Fuck, that was
like
this year's shit."
Yeah. I mean, like Warhammer 40k Dark Tide that came out this year.
Was that?
But I haven't.
Fuck, I thought that was last year.
I can't remember. Was it this year? Earlier this year?
I quite honestly, I'd have to look.
Yeah,
I have to look it up.
Although I swear, Endless Dungeon is a strong contender in my head if you're playing with people.
that'd
3-player only.
Yeah, for smaller dev or for smaller release.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent game. Just like the AI is not up to the scratch to play on your own.
No, not at all. Like single player AI is just sad.
Yeah. It's basically just a gun that hangs around you.
Yeah. It's a floating target. It's a Mr. Zircon, essentially. Just follows around and shoots at things. Which is great, but then you can't do anything.
The game works better when, you can independently go sort out problems.
Yeah, when you can actually affect enemies coming from multiple directions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Baldur's Gate is a pretty safe bet for Game of the Year. Completely out of left field and unexpected, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely fucking deserves it.
I still maintain, like, the Spider-Man 2, I still keep forgetting that it came out, because I don't remember seeing anything for it. I've heard good things, though. It's apparently more of the same, which is, a solid game. Apart from, like, was it Adidas doing dumb shit? But that's to be expected.
I mean, Armored Core came out this year. That game absolutely slapped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was it the gatekeeper first boss? So you're gonna learn today, and then after you've had to master how to pilot a mech, then they give you the tutorial. Like, I've already killed a thing that would have been hard to do if I knew what I was doing.
Yep.
Ah.
Well, there's also Liza Pi and a few other, or P Pi, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I suck at that game, but it has been fun. I'm enjoying it.
I mean, like, this is just like a brief list of like reasonably popular games that came out this year. I mean, we'll do a much bigger deep dive of this when we get to December. But like, it's just a basic idea. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, Age of Wonders 4, Amnesia the Bunker, Armored Core 6, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Atomic Heart, Blasphemous 2, Company of Heroes 3, Darkest Dungeon 2, Dredge, Endless Dungeon, Exoprimal, F123, F1 Manager, Forza Motorsport, Harmony, Have a Nice Death, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Immortals of Avium, which I'm honestly surprised is on this list because Immortals of Avian was such a fart in a fan store.
God.
The Legend of Heroes, Lego 2K Drive, Liza P, Lords of the Fallen, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Meet Your Maker, Mortal Kombat 1, Moving Out 2, Resident Evil VR, Sea of Stars, Sons of the Forest, Station to Station, 30 Suitors, Total War Pharaoh, Trepang 2, which I actually think a lot more people should check out Trepang 2. That game is way more fun than you think it would be.
Which one's that? It sounds very familiar.
It's this weird game. It's not very long, and it's generally reasonably cheap. I don't know what it's costing right now. But basically, they just took the combat loop from Fear and just went, how about if that's the whole game?
Yeah, okay.
And then they decided that they do weird shit with every level, something different. Like the first map, you're breaking into a laboratory, big company's like bioengineering laboratory. You know, on the top level when you land, you know, you're doing all like the dropping in through skylights and running through offices and all this kind of shit. And then eventually you get down into the actual lab itself, and then everything starts getting a bit weird because there's all this weird bio growth, and then something fucking weird's going on down there.
Nice.
Another one's like out in the middle of an ice shelf, and you're going through this Arctic base, and you definitely know there's something creepy going on. And then you find this big, weird, powered-on monolith. And then that transports you into literally the back rooms.
Ha! Nice.
Because it's all yellow. It's the fucking back rooms. They just don't say the words.
Yeah. That's
like, the game is just like whiplash from level to level. But the combat loop is genuinely really good. I really like Trepang.
Like, things to be said for a decent combat loop. Like, that can make up for a lot of shit. Like, games are hard in certain ways. You have to either have a very good story and shit everything else. Or at least decent story, competent, like, acting and everything else, and then combat loop must be fucking fluid.
Yeah.
Like, you break that loop and...
Yeah. Just to finish up this list. Trine 5, Viewfinder, Wargroove 2, Wild Hearts, Wulong, Fallen Dynasty, WWE 2K23.
It's still going.
And that's it.
See, that didn't list Starfield, didn't list Baldur's Gate.
Like this was just like good stuff. Like there's more. Like it can go down into like stuff that got 9s and 10s. At which point you're starting into your Alan Wake, Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16.
That Dead Space remake was pretty boss. Not gonna lie.
It was so good. Like honestly, I played the shit out of Dead Space, and even I was like, this Dead Space remake is legit.
Yeah.
Like the list is not extensive, and it's broken up into like rating levels. The list I just read out was everything that was like rated an 8.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of like your middle of the ground. It's not like your top, your absolute top stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if you get down to the bit where they're like anything that got a 10 out of 10, Baldur's Gate 3. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime Remastered, Resident Evil 4, and that's it.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. They're pretty solid games.
I mean, I did forget that Resident Evil came out this year, despite the fact I played the absolute living shit out of that game.
I keep seeing a friend of ours playing it. I'm like, I should really play that game.
It's really good.
And then I get distracted again. Like,
but I mean, we'll go through that sort of stuff a lot more in December when we'll.
No doubt. When they're a little closer in the when they announce the vote for these games, we'll go through them then.
That's the one. Put our guesses in.
Yeah. So moving away from games. So it. Well, I mean, we're going back into our favorite topic: companies being shit.
Yay!
Drug manufacturers are set to pay 23andMe millions of dollars to access their their customers' DNA.
I mean, I can understand why to an extent, because we have antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. The next push they're going for is they want to specialize RNA to use specifically, and I get that, but normally you'd have to be like, here's my DNA, please make me the cure. Taking everyone's DNA to start with doesn't really do much. Like, why?
Yeah, but they can start tailoring medicines that work generally across a broad spectrum of DNA types.
That was true, yeah.
But I honestly thought this was already happening.
Yeah.
I
remember
reading a while ago that 23andMe and those Ancestry fucking things were selling data or keeping
I just assumed that was the point.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what I thought they were for.
I honestly thought they were part of the some database for the FBI, CIA, all that kind of shit for fucking genetic tracking. Like tinfoil hat fucking time, but
I know it's like the same thing. I don't know if it ever happened to you guys when you were kids, but they used to do like the field trips to police stations from schools.
Fingerprints.
And they'd fingerprint you, put it just and you realize later on, much later on in life, holy shit, I'm in the system because the schools were complicit in that. Cheeky.
No, man, it was just fun and silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got ink on your fingers.
Happy days. Oh god.
But
these kits have always been so cheap, and they never tell you anything super interesting. It's
you pay a minimal amount and send your own sample, and in the fine print of it says that they're entitled to keep your sample and use the data for their own purposes.
Jokes on them. Any clones that contain my DNA will explode.
But you just find out, if I did it, it'd be like, hey man, you're half this European, half this other European, yay.
Pretty much.
It's not, you're not learning anything particularly great from these kits. It's like a novelty.
Yeah.
But that means that they want this for something, otherwise they wouldn't go through the effort.
Oh,
so
exactly.
I just assumed they had to be selling that genetic data to something.
Oh yeah.
No, they were just doing it for
want to come back. You are a general mongrel. You're a bit of this, you're a bit of that, and we don't really fucking know.
Mine would come back to congratulations, you are white. So very white. Brad is more tan than you. Congratulations.
We printed the test and just an A4 page came out.
It's overriding the system. We can't stop it.
Yeah, for him to be able to take these tests and do them so fucking cheaply, you're the product. Straight out.
Absolutely.
What is it? If the cost is free, you're the product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cost is almost free.
So much fun. Hey, no, it's you're the product, but premium.
No, I'm a free fucking trial. with spyware.
I'm pretty sure I'm the alpha that got discarded.
I'm the one you just can't opt out of. The second I'm there, I'm stuck with you forever.
Pre-prototype, not even got to an alpha.
We're the freeware. You're getting cereal boxes and shit.
With
20 different
every 30 seconds.
Hey,
20 different games to try.
What was it? The Milo fuel run kicked ass. Don't talk shit about the fuel run.
Yeah. We're meant to have a coherent thought of we're going to run after the Milo, but a pop-up keeps coming up and changing directions.
Oh god. But yeah.
And
So
come on, man, don't lie. No Australian can be distracted from the Milo.
Yeah, no, you can't distract from I found out the other day that Macca's now has Milo McFlurries again. I was like, I am lactose intolerant, but I still kind of want to go get one. Actually, I'm lactose intolerant and diabetic, and I still want to get a McFlurry with Milo in it.
Milo flurry in, Milo flurry out.
I would
Everywhere.
literally explode and die if I ate this. But it's like my brain's sitting there going,
happy.
the brain's weighing the options like, well, everything is depressing, and I do like Milo.
See, if they
have
wanted to
tomorrow
make
off,
that
so it
like that
doesn't
little
matter.
bit more Aussie, they give you the Milo flurry, but then they jam like 3 or 4 Anzacs in the top of it.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, the spoon
Like-
would have to be like an Anzac biscuit.
Yeah, have like a hard crunchy Anzac as the spoon,
Yeah.
and then a soft Anzac to scoop with.
Yeah.
So you can bite through with a soft Anzac, but you've still got a crunchy one to stir.
Fuck,
Oh,
guess what we're
the
doing
dream.
after this?
Hit us up,
Goddamn
Macca's.
McDonald's, listen to this shit. You want to make money? We got ideas.
They're not good ideas, but we have ideas.
Not your
No.
fucking mozzarella patty thing. That's dumb.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
I gave it a go. It's not good.
No.
I don't think I would even trust it. Like, it's the whole thing. Like, I don't trust the fillet of fish from Macca's, but I trust the fillet of fish or the fish products even less from like other places.
Yeah.
Remember, was it Red Rooster before they had their big change up? They used to do fish and chips at one point.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I looked at it, I was like, no, I would like to live. I don't trust you enough to keep chicken going half the time, let alone fish.
We've got several fish and chip shops. Like, I live quite a ways from the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go into them, and none of it, like, you couldn't have fresh fish this far out and keep it for any extended period of time. So anything you order feels like they've just gone down the frozen food section of Coles and Woolies and bought bags of everything, and they've just deep fried that and given it to you. It's like, this really isn't worth it. I could go to Coles and Woolies and buy this for cheaper.
Yeah. But you'd have to make it yourself then.
Yeah.
That's the rub. Like, that's the thing.
We've got plenty of other better food.
Yeah, no, I've tried the
Yeah.
food where you are. It's pretty fucking tasty. Considering you have, like, a chicken factory there, like one of the big,
Yeah.
I think it's Ingham's
the-
or something. But
Steggles.
Steggles?
The-
Steggles.
The primary Steggles factory. Yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that, like, one of the little random coffee shops that in your town has, like, the best chicken burger I have ever fucking had, I am yet to, like, find a better.
And you know what's
That
really
thing-
shit? We've got one of the worst rated KFCs in the country.
How?
Yeah, but KFC, like, actually, this is something I recently found out. Apparently, our KFC is very different to American KFC.
Yeah.
So with some of our Macca's and everything else, to be honest, like
Yeah, but apparently our Macca's is much better. Our KFC is a lot worse.
we use actual
Yeah.
meat in our Macca's
well,
instead of
the
just use
processing-
gym nets.
The processing plant here, when they do their KFC order, doesn't just get sent straight to the KFCs. Like, otherwise, it's 500 meters down the road from the processing plant. They should have the
Yeah.
freshest chicken in the country. But it goes from here to Sydney to a warehouse where it gets all mixed in with Steggles and Ingham's, so they're not showing preference. And from there, it then gets sent out to every KFC in the country.
Yeah.
So it goes from here 6 hours to Sydney, where it gets mixed up with all the other shit, and then however long before it gets sent back here. It's like, why
Yeah,
not
that's-
just have this one closer?
Yeah,
I'm
but, like-
I'm sure there's one close to the Ingham's factory. Fucking
Yeah.
just send it to them. Shit.
Yeah, but like
you advertise
even
as that.
even then, like from what I understand, like our hot and spicy is much closer to like American original, like
Yeah.
the actual crunchy and shit with like actual flavor.
Yeah.
Hot and spicy used to actually have spice to it.
Yeah,
I used to
now
love
it
the
doesn't.
Zinger back before they dialed that one back.
Yeah. Now you need it like drenched in their fucking hot sauce before it even looks like having anything.
I'm pretty
to do
sure
with it.
That
this is what-
supercharged stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what left the room for Red Rooster to just sort of like sneak in. Because like, as far as I'm concerned, right now, if someone was like, "You want to go get chicken?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to Red Rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to
that is-
KFC."
There
That
is
honey
another
chili.
option. Oh yeah.
The
There
only
is
other
no
thing that would
second
drag
option
me
for
away, yeah, the only thing that could drag me away from Red Rooster Chicken right now is like any number of Korean chicken places here.
Oh yeah, but that's a whole other.
That's different. That's because Korea decided to take the American version of fried chicken and perfect it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, it's tasty.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue on that. That's just amazing.
I don't even class that as chicken anymore. That's some other kind of... They found unicorns and pretending it's chicken. It's tasty.
I wonder if 23andMe would sell DNA data telling me what kind of chicken I'd like.
Maybe. That'd be fun. Your closest relation to animal is this chicken. Like, I will find and eat this chicken.
There is my nemesis. I want a bucket of that chicken.
Just imagine getting a chicken, just walking into like KFC, like, cook me this chicken. Like, no.
It'd be bad if like your test came back saying you are 6% chicken. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, what was it? There's certain
I'm
people
pretty sure
who
I
are like more banana than others. You are more banana than your friends. Like, oh, this explains so much.
Yeah, but
You're
that's
14% mushroom.
What is it, like 96% banana? Well, share DNA with bananas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that, like, tiny percent that, like, completely jacks the entire thing up and makes a person instead of a banana.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Shall we actually
Genetics
get back
are
on
weird.
track with topics?
So-
Otherwise, or do we want to keep going down food?
We could talk about chicken forever.
Why does
Let's
it
probably
always
not
come
do
back
that.
to food, whether it's Bickie's or KFC or Milo? Or
We are three fat white guys sitting in a dark room dreaming about what we're going to eat after we record this. That's where it happened.
I think the
this
mistake is we
recorded
record
pre-dinner.
before eating.
Yeah, we always just before eating. We should actually record one after eating one week, just to see if it changes. Maybe it won't be as scattered. It'd be great.
That's that old rule. You never go shopping hungry.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with that, though, is all of the shops where I can buy food are next to the grocery store. So I
Yeah.
go to the grocery store going, wait a minute, I'm hungry. And then go spend too much at a fucking cafe.
Yeah.
So, back on topic list.
Yeah, we actually have a list.
Although, we are coming back down from the highs of food talk to something kind of sad, which is 8% of Bungie's staff got laid off.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
fun. It was like a year after
150
they said they
people.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
a year after they said they wouldn't.
So
and a lot of
when-
them are 2 days off, like, long service. Like,
Yeah.
only a couple of days off it.
That's
So
a fun
the-
Sorry, not long service. The contract of when Sony bought Bungie out means they were meant to be employed with Bungie for a certain period of time before they were actually given stocks and shares of Bungie.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people were from that time, and they're now being fired only 2 to 3 days before that would kick in. So they
Yeah.
get nothing.
Yeah. That is
That's
an
fucking
absolute dick
bullshit.
move. That is a horrible thing to do, and unfortunately is quite prevalent in many industries at the moment. It's like getting close to the long service or anything else, you have a target on you.
well, the big thing that's weird, though, is, like, when Sony bought them, they bought them for, what was it, $3 billion or some shit?
Yeah.
Bungie themselves came out and said they were putting aside some absurd number. I think it might have been like $1 billion of staff retention money.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you telling me in the year since Sony bought you, you blew through $1 billion and need to fire these people?
That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
no way in fuck.
Yeah. If like 150 people, like how much would each person have to be making a year for that to work?
I think
It'd
a
have to
lot
be
of that
couple
money
million.
was in stock buyback, which was then going to be offered to the staff who retained for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
However you
But
want to slice it.
in that contract, they didn't stipulate that they couldn't be fired. Like they'd get it if they were fired. So, yeah, it's just a really fucking dick thing to do. Like,
But, like, that's just one of many things. Like, the problem is right now, like, this all, like, just started happening this week.
oh yeah,
So we don't really know everything that's going on. And there's a lot of theories. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, this has to be something from Sony, because Sony's contracting on a lot of its stuff right now. So they probably looked at some... Because a lot of the people who got let go were long-standing staff members who probably had the fattest paychecks.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, well, maybe Sony was looking at them going, well, we're cutting everybody else back, you gotta go too. So we really don't know what's happened. The only things we really do know is all of Bungie's current projects have been pushed way out.
Yeah.
The Final Shape expansion for Destiny was supposed to be coming, I think, in February. It's now coming out in July, and Marathon is now been pushed way out to 2025.
Yeah. There was also in a recent financial call from Bungie saying that they a 46% reduction in what they're expecting to have earned in the last year.
45% shortfall on predicted profits.
Honestly, to me, that just means that your predictions were fucking stupid.
Well, I was actually talking to someone, and he actually had a really good theory on what might have caused it. They recently upped the price of silver, which is their in-game currency for buying stuff in Destiny.
Yeah.
Now, if you went, we were charging people $5 and they made 1,000 purchases. We raised it to $10 and we still got those 1,000 purchases. Look how much money we'd make.
Yeah.
But instead, you get 500 purchases instead of 1,000. So you don't actually change your overall profit, but your prediction was woefully out because you based it off this number staying the same as this number.
Yeah. Because that's always the way that these massive corporations things work. It's like, if we just double the price, we'll have all this money. It's like, no, you'll end up losing about half the people who are on this service.
But there's also been quite a few reports of, say, for example, the Last of Us Factions, the multiplayer Last of Us game, was meant to be released as a straight-out multiplayer game, but through devs that have left the development of that, they've come out and said, no, it's being pushed more and more as a game-as-a-service title.
Yeah.
And Sony's referencing straight back to the Bungie devs, saying, well, you've made a popular games-as-service game. Can you, put that kind of fucking gameplay into these other fucking titles? And a lot of devs have got the shits. There was a report came out. There was of all of their development companies, I think it's 80% of them have got complaints with Sony trying to push games as a service aspects into games that really shouldn't fucking have it. Because Sony's always been known for single player titles with an epic story.
Yeah,
which is probably why as this whole Destiny thing's been coming out, there's been a bunch of reporting of Sony actually starting to pull back on its double down on live service titles.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I'm quite happy for, to be honest. I'm sick of those ones.
Well, that's stupid. I think that's part of the reason why Jim Ryan's left.
Probably.
Pulling out. The direction he's tried to push things isn't fucking working. And he can't stay in control of the ship and not push what he's been spouting for the last few years.
Yeah.
So
at some point, it's like either I have to leave or compromise on my own morals. It's like, all right.
He may not have burned the bridge with the ABK deal, going against that, but he set fire to some of the supports, and then I think he's sort of sold off some of the wood from it for other fucking gains, and it's just a rickety mess. So hopefully whoever does come in next can fucking build something a little stronger.
Oh, I hope so.
Because the gaming industry does need Sony. They need Sony, they need Xbox, they need Nintendo. They need competition, they need strong competition.
Yeah.
As much as you get you want to bash on Sony, you want to bash on Xbox and Nintendo when you can. It's fun to bash on these companies. It's fucking entertaining. But we need them.
Yeah.
And we need them to actually produce.
Oh, yeah. They needed the competition between them so they can get things going. But I just want someone to shake the tree every so often so the fucking rotten fruit falls. Just give it a good shake. Get rid of
they need pruning.
Shit. Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's part of what's happening now.
Yeah.
With some devs and some developers leaving and... Yeah. Some higher-ups jumping ship.
And some of them definitely should be jumping. It's like, yeah, you can go away. Just shoot. Please don't come back. But then again, it's also... We knew this was going to happen. I think when we talked about this last year, we mentioned, give it about a year, they'll get rid of people.
Yeah.
We saw this coming. It's so...
I mean, the minute they doubled down on live service, it was this is either going to absolutely explode and we're going to be totally wrong,
Yeah.
or it looks like we were right, it's not a good idea and things aren't looking good.
Yeah, which means everyone else has to pay for it. It's not going to be the company.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Do we want to move on to something a little less depressing?
I would like that. That'd be good.
Well, I mean, depends on your definition of depressing, I guess. Ubisoft allowed an animation to depict one of its main characters, Raymond, as a coke-snorting fascist mouthpiece.
Yeah. And they were fine with that.
And I have watched it. He really fucking was.
Yeah.
But like,
It's
it's
actually
also
really good.
It's also the entire animation is from Ubisoft. Like Ubisoft had a lot to do with it,
Yeah.
and it's based on the Blood Dragon title from Far Cry. Like it's a spin-off of a spin-off, wacky fucking world.
It's fun.
The fact they actually released that is fucking gold.
Yeah. Like,
They
at least they can
allowed,
poke
like-
fun of shit.
Because the rabbits, like their big fucking characters, is a fucking Rayman character.
Yeah.
It's just funny they went for like their major title. Like, let's make him fucked up. Like, no brand does that. That's just fucking gold.
Well, the thing I love, like, I don't know if you've watched the actual episode it features in. Like, Raymond, like, yeah, they call him a coke-snorting fascist mouthpiece, but the whole point of the episode is him realizing that that's what he is.
Yeah.
Because, like, he starts out that way, then realizes what's going on, and then tries to, pull a fast one and be like, I won't do what you said. So they replace him, and then he goes on a fucking killing spree. It's fucking great. It's really, really good. Like, the animation's fantastic. The story's not the most amazing thing in the world, but, like, it's good enough.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, I would highly recommend, if you just want to kill 10 minutes, go check out the Raymond bit of Captain Laserhawk.
That'd be fun. What other nonsense do we want to talk about today?
Who wants to laugh at Adidas?
Always. Like, why would I not?
So, Adidas has decided they want to sell a set of training gear based off the spider suits from the second Spider-Man game. So they decided, right, we're going to pick one from that Miles wears. Okay, cool. They picked the one that the community has universally decided is the worst.
It's because it's shit. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, it's not good. It's like I'm not saying it's bad, but I always find it a little weird when Spider-Gwen has the ballet shoes on the outside of the suit.
Yeah.
In this, it's literally just Miles in a shite-looking suit, wearing trainers, and he's not got a hat on. Like, his mask doesn't cover his head. It covers his
shows
face.
off his hair.
It was
really,
probably the
really
easiest for them to develop. They looked at that character going, oh, we can make a shirt that has that kind of print on it, pants with a stripe, and shoes that are probably the exact same shoes they already fucking developed, just change the colour off.
I mean,
They
I'll
didn't
give
have to
you
do
that,
anything.
but man, it's not good.
No.
It's like the suit itself, like looking at it as a design perspective, just as a as a superhero costume, it's bad. Like now people know the hair color of Spider-Man, how he wears his hair. It narrows shit down to find him. Why would a hero do this?
I don't know, Superman.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But
I don't know. Even like looking at the clothes they developed, it's just a long sleeve shirt with a print on it. Like
yeah, it's
at
just
least
activewear.
the character, like the Spider-Man character, what they've made doesn't line up to what the fucking model is.
No.
Yeah.
It's like they've literally just got shit and sewn it together and said, this'll do.
Like, on the actual shirt that they've designed, like, on the original one, there's a blue line that goes out across
It's
the
like
lower
a blue
torso.
cross that comes up
and
and
it
down
goes
the
up
arms.
and down the arms. In the shirt they designed, the cross comes up, then there's a seam, and the arm line starts at a different spot. It doesn't even line up.
Doesn't match up at all. It looks like something you buy from like Crazy Clocks. It looks cheap.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man costume at home.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
no. That's what it's one of those like cheap dollar store costumes. That's not going to be called Spider-Man, maybe Bunt Boy or something stupid.
Spoon-Man.
It's great spider person or
Yeah.
great arachnid person.
It's not good.
No,
I don't
it's
know
really not.
how this made it through QA as a product, let alone the fact they had to choose the one that was the worst.
Because Adidas doesn't give a shit.
They really don't. Like it's one of those. It's one of those big brands that it's. What is it? It's like Apple and shit. They have people who love their shit, and they will always buy anything they sell.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
just
like,
wanted to
right.
throw out a product that would loosely tie into something that is sort of popular.
Yeah,
That was
Which I
it, and they
fucking
did it
hate.
the most easy, lazy way fucking possible.
Yeah.
That's all this is, and it shows.
Look, if you're gonna try and tie yourself in with something popular like this, then fucking go ham. Don't half-ass this. If you half-ass it, then people aren't going to like what you do. Like, you'll get your baseline people going, yes, I'm buying this because it's the thing I like, the company. But no one else. You won't bring in anyone who likes Spider-Man, like, at all.
No.
Like, everything about it just screams, we took the easy route. It's like, you lazy, lazy motherfuckers.
And given the fact that they'll charge premium money for it,
Yeah.
Oh, the shirt and pants are 50 USD a pop.
Oh.
The shoes are $230 USD a pop.
Fuck off. Why? Like,
Adidas,
why are
that's
these
why.
shoes so expensive? They might be good shoes, but at the same time, like, they
Because
look bad.
there's fuckwits that trade in shoes.
That I
sneakerheads.
always find
These are
fucking
tied
weird.
into another brand. That's
Yeah.
it.
Actually, like a surprisingly good hustle is purchasing sneakers and then selling them in Colombia.
Yeah, no, I've heard.
They have no import. There's no good vector.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of Colombian guys I used to work with who used to just buy the newest sneakers that came out and then just sell them back home because no one could get them, so they were even more valuable.
It's almost
Smart.
like selling baby formula.
Yeah.
Except, people don't need shoes.
They just really,
Yeah.
really want them. It's like the same people who will camp out the front of an Apple store or a tech store waiting for a phone to drop. It's like, you won't die if you wait a couple of days, guys. You don't
I'll
have
be able to
be
walk.
first.
I'll be able to walk in at my leisure and get it.
Yeah. I never understood why people would camp out for products.
So, in saying that, we all went to midnight launches of games.
Yeah.
That is fair. That was just collective.
So, we just don't understand this particular care
Yeah.
for these products.
Well, camping out for days, I don't understand. Like, I've seen, here in Brisbane, we have an Apple store, which I have seen people with tents, like, out the front of, for, like, leading up to a drop. It's like, mate, no. Like, just come back on the day.
That being said, I remember when we were in uni, one of our friends was going to the midnight launch of Windows Vista.
Ah, that's right.
I mean, I went with him because it was like, fuck it, I want to see what this is.
I want to see what the launch of Vista looks like, and in all
He and
honesty, it was
four
like-
other people got Vista at midnight.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. No, seriously,
and
that's
regretted
basically
it
what
instantly.
happened.
Whereas now, it just downloads overnight.
Anytime someone mentions Vista, all I can think of is IT Crowd. Like, what software is the bomb disposal unit running? Windows Vista. We're going to die, Roy! But every time, that's what pops in my head. It can never be replaced.
Would you guys like a silly news article?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
So, Final Fantasy Online. They just did a crossover partnership.
Did they?
Who do you think they did a crossover with?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Who would make the
No,
least
but that
amount
would
of
be
sense?
hilarious.
There is a race in that game which is like that spiky headed guys. The second they came out, me and a guildmate immediately made characters called Sonic and Knuckles, just so that we could have the names.
They did a crossover event with Fall Guys.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So they have a section, a casino, which is already known for
yeah.
its mini games and silly extras.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've now got an officially licensed Fall Guys map. So instead of a bunch of like pill-shaped dudes, all your Final Fantasy characters get to run around the dumb Fall Guys map.
Interesting. I mean,
It would actually be entertaining if inside Final Fantasy it just jumped to random Twitch streams of Fall Guys and you could bet on a character with in-game currency.
that would be fucking funny.
That would be
actually.
too close to gambling, and they'd probably get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're already skirting pretty close with the casino they have. But, like, why Fall Guys, of all things? Honestly,
Why
I'm
not?
surprised I
Yeah.
keep forgetting Fall Guys is a thing, to be honest. Like, I thought it was more or less dead.
No, it's
basic
actually still
platforming
thriving
maps.
quite well.
Yeah.
Fair. I've never played it, to be honest. I never had the urge to, but
Yeah, no, it was too Twitch streamery bait for me.
yeah.
But
I
yeah.
don't know. Good luck to. I don't know if there's much platforming in Final Fantasy 14. I think I've only ever played
Well,
like an
so
hour
There
of
is
it,
in the
and-
casino. They have a lot of
Yeah.
platforming games to win stuff.
Like, very Takeshi's Castle type shit. So,
Yeah.
quite honestly, a Fall Guys official map actually fits in perfectly.
Yeah, that
I mean,
matches
if you-
with that particularly well. If there was like you're tracking down an epic road and you're round a corner and suddenly there's a cartoony Fall Guys map, it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
That-
if it stays contained to the casino idea, because I can just
Which is what it is.
reskin. Yeah, I can just reskin the cactuars. I think they're called the little cactus people. Because reskin
No.
those and they'd be basically the same thing.
it'd be entertaining if like the Final Fantasy characters like as sort of detailed and as anime looking as they are, get Fall Guy skins which are pretty much just 8-foot beans.
Just like,
'cause they
it's like
say-
a grimace costume.
Yeah, literally.
Nah,
But-
what they actually did is they just had the high detailed models on the Fall Guys map.
Fair. They took the easy route. Fair.
They did, but like in the lore description of Fall Guys, the character, like the little bean characters, they say are like 8 or 9 feet tall. Like they're fucking
Yeah.
massive.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So it'd be funny if like these massive skins, like cartoon skins, suddenly appeared in Final Fantasy. It's like, yeah, as detailed as that is, and it's just cartoon bean.
Side
Yeah.
note of, like, unnecessarily large, kind of terrifying. Anyone watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
No, I haven't watched
No.
it yet, but it is somewhere in like
Yeah,
my list.
it's not good. It's
I get the
well,
feeling I
did
looked at
not
the
like it.
I watched the trailer for it and I realized I'm going to have to be drunk as fuck to get through that movie, and I don't think my liver can take that right now, so it's on the back burner.
The day that Five Nights at Freddy's dropped, someone uploaded it to Twitter or X because there
Yeah.
was no fucking limit to it.
Yeah,
And like Paramount, whoever the production company was the first comment on it, is that we'll be in contact. And it's, if you actually go through it, because I went back through and found it, because I thought, fuck, I want to have a look at this.
yeah.
The first 10 or 15 minutes are the actual movie, and after that is an hour and a half rickroll.
I love it.
Nice. Well, I mean, quite honestly, that movie felt like someone rickrolled me. It was really boring.
Yeah.
The problem I found is like the actual core game is nothing you can make a movie out of. So you've got to
Yeah.
try and make it out of all the strenuous lore that's been developed for the franchise. The problem is that lore tends to play everything really straight. You know,
Yeah.
people are being kidnapped and murdered and all this dark overtone shit. It's animatronics, guys. It's Chuck E. Cheese style animatronics. It's
Yeah.
kind of inherently a bit goofy.
Yeah.
You can't play it 100% down the line straight. It just doesn't fucking work.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a lot of the lore that's out there for it is all community driven. It's not done by the dev. He just makes a game and says, well, here it is. It's
Yeah.
the community that comes up with all the fucking story for it.
Like, I know
Yeah,
like why
he's
they made
codified
the
it.
movie.
He's
Like-
codified it what is and isn't accurate.
I can get why they've made it. They want to cash in on a popular franchise and try and bring some more money in for it. But
Yeah,
there are
but-
better things to make movies out of. I would happily watch an SCP movie.
Yeah,
Like-
but like, even with the Five Nights at Freddy's film, do you remember that Nick Cage movie that came out like a year
Yeah,
ago?
that did a better version of it, from what I've heard. Like,
Because in that one, they were like, "Oh, we know what these are. They're
Yeah.
demon-possessed robots. We've got to feed them someone. Oh, hey, we found a drifter. Let's
Yeah.
feed him to them." They just happened to put the wrong guy in the building.
yeah,
And it played with the... Like, it understood that the concept is goofy.
Yeah.
So just do goofy shit.
and they did the right thing by getting Nick Cage into it. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
the
goofy.
kind of energy
Yeah.
you need for that. Like, you need Nick Cage energy to get that going.
It just did not work for me at all.
Yeah, like there's so many things like internet-driven stuff that gets made into movies that are never taken very well. Like the Slender Man movie was horrible, but there were some really great like YouTube channels dedicated to the Slender Man mythos, which were great. I loved them. like Marble Hornets and that kind of stuff were like very suspenseful and very slow and methodical.
Well, that's the thing. Once you start getting up to like big movie stuff, well, then they want to own the IP. They don't want to just be like. I mean, let's face it. That's why Control is the way it is. Because let's face it, if that was anything else, it would just be SCP the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But they had to give it all this other branding on top of it to try and come up with a way to make it copyrightable.
Yeah. Because that's where the SCP guys actually ran into an issue because they wanted to release books for it. They wanted to release like research journals, but they couldn't do it because it's all community driven and they wouldn't be able to find and pay the people who contributed.
They can, but they have to state it as because everything on the SCP article is Open Commons license.
Yeah.
But you have to reference back to the SCP thing, which means you can't pretend like you made it.
Yeah. You have to say, I'm just using this. I didn't create it.
Yeah.
Which no one ever wants to do.
No, they want to be the sole owner, so they can't have someone go, oh, but like I made that up to begin with, and I don't like what you did. Take it away, take it down, or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you aren't seeing the SCP stuff, or if you do, it's some YouTube thing where someone's just doing a creative project.
Pretty much.
They're getting the YouTube ad rev, but you know, they're not trying to claim ownership.
Yeah, I would honestly love to see a containment breach movie, like a SCP containment team trying to gain control of a facility again. I would probably watch that. It'd be fun. Mindless action and weird, creepy things.
I think it'll work better as a suspense movie than an action flick.
Oh, definitely. Because some of the stuff they have in there is like fucking odd, and the amount of references you could make, like SCP-001, the fact that no one knows what it is. Like there are, I think it's like 6 lead contenders of what it might be because everyone's mind gets wiped when they leave the room.
And I mean, some of the SCPs are kind of lies and all kinds of fun shit. Like, it's a great universe to plumb from, but you've got to be willing to then stand in front of your audience and go, we didn't make this.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And that's generally where studios are going to get plugged up, because they know we want total ownership so we can do merchandising and sequels and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But,
like, I don't know, I'd like more movies in the Cabin in the Woods universe, where like the kids go in there and it's like, which monster are they going to trigger?
I don't think that would work for a second movie. I think what made that movie special made it work once.
Yeah.
There's another one that came out recently that tried to recapture that. I think it was like Knock at the Cabin, but it wasn't as... They tried to play it more straight-faced, as opposed to funny. It didn't quite work. It wasn't bad, though. It was entertaining.
That's always going to run into some, like, weird problems.
Yeah. But
it
has just passed Halloween when we're recording this. What horror movies did you watch for Halloween, like, or leading up to it, if any?
I mean,
Five Nights, because
yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to call it a horror movie, like
I will consider it a movie.
I don't think anyone actually dies on camera in that movie.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, like it's nothing. Like it's a giant nothing burger of a film. I don't know why it freaking exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I always watch The Cube on Halloween because I love that movie.
That is a good movie. I watched Nefarious. That was entertaining.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's a slow burn one. It's a reporter talking to like a mass murderer in jail because he's been requested to tell his story.
Oh, tell me about this one.
Yeah, and the entire thing is the guy trying to convince him he's a demon. Saying, no, I'm actually a demon. I did this because fuck you humans. I want to do this because everything else is bad. It was an interesting movie. I quite liked it. It was slow burn, though. Definitely slow.
Fair.
I seen 10 minutes of Bridget Jones's Diary on TV. That was pretty fucking horrific.
Yeah, no, I will agree to that. It's been a while since I watched that one.
God, watching TV.
As much as I hated the Meg 2, I still enjoyed it. But I hate the fact that I enjoyed it. It's the one that gets me the most is when he gets the chum line. He kicks a guy in, it's like, later chum. It's like, fuck you, I hate how funny that was.
They chummed the water.
Yeah.
It's
not supposed to make quality puns in this shit movie.
Yeah. Like,
but that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
It's the only way to raise quality of that.
Like, I wouldn't consider Wrath of Becky a horror movie. It is a thriller, but that was fun.
Yeah, it's a good movie, actually. Unicorn Wars? I did watch Unicorn Wars.
I'll consider that a horror movie. That was a fucking weird one. Like, entertaining, but...
Oh, it's so good. But
Like,
it's weird.
I enjoyed that movie. At the same time, the entire thing can be summarized with that Futurama skit of, turns out it's man. But, yeah. It's strange, but fun. I quite enjoyed it. But,
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
also
did
thought-
absolutely nothing for Halloween.
I forgot it was Halloween. I went out drinking the weekend before and, like, did the things then. Then Tuesday rolls around, it's like, it's Halloween. Okay. I'm just gonna maybe watch a horror movie and then pass out.
Yeah.
I've got games to play and books to listen to. That was it.
Yep.
Actually, no, I think we ended up just playing Endless Dungeon
Endless
for a
Dungeon,
while.
yeah.
That's basically what we did. That was a horror game. That's fine. We got murdered numerous times. What else was on our list of things to talk about?
I mean, Muskie's getting all up about doing this thing where he wants X to replace Banks again.
He wants like X to replace everything. Like,
Yeah.
He wants to make X into Metaverse, which already failed.
He
Like,
wants
I mean-
all financial shit to go through X within the next year. But before that, he announced that he wanted X to be almost a dating app where people meet on X.
Yeah.
Like,
The idea is you won't open another app. You'll open
Yeah.
X and do everything.
Like, we can't trust Muskie with his own money, let alone like our money. Like, I would not be giving him anything. Like, fuck that guy.
I don't even open X when I want to look at other people's tweets or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck they're called now. Like, there's
What are they
other
called
better
now?
place to look at it. X's?
I'm gonna Google it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're called. They should still be called tweets because it should still fucking be called Twitter.
Tweets
That
are now
makes sense.
called posts. They're just called posts now.
Oh, okay.
So he took
He's
any
taken away
form
all
of
the
soul
branding.
that it had
Yeah.
and made it nothing.
Any
Yeah.
branding that could separate it from everything else is now gone.
Yeah.
I think
And he's fighting people for the X name because like someone else had already trademarked it.
I think he's literally just trying to run this into the ground as a tax write-off.
I would not be surprised, honestly.
It has to be at this point. Like I can't think the shit he's saying. Like, you can't believe it. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
No.
At this point, like, you can't keep saying this stuff and think it's actually going to happen. People have hard rejected you. You think you're going to turn this into the everything app?
Yeah. Can we just launch him and the other billionaires into space and be done with it?
They
I mean,
keep
they're
trying to-
already trying. Like, we just funnel them away. It'd be great. Just
Yeah,
have
but-
one person change the navigation so it plunges them
Look,
into the sun instead.
All you got to do is sell them metric bolts and imperial nuts,
Yes. That'd be fun.
and then just let them launch.
The great thing is, like, when they finally get that working, it'll be hilarious to see all of the rich people fuck off to Mars, and then the rest of us going, oh, shit, we can get stuff done now. This is great. Like, it'll be
How cheap
perfect.
is it to launch a meteorite?
Right, then we launch all the rich people off into space, we send the nukes shortly after. It'd be great.
We're not allowed to have weapons pointed at other countries, but it says nothing about pointing at other planets.
There are I know there are laws about nukes in space, but that's specifically pointing them at Earth. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we can point them outside, it'd be fine. But I reckon, like, the second they get there, within seconds, Muskie would try and, like, secede and be like, we are our own thing, you bow down to Mars. Like, we control your infrastructure from here, bud.
We've renamed the planet X.
Be sued by NASA, they already have that on the books.
Well, I mean, NASA was there first.
It's true. Actually, technically, the robots have the original claim.
Depending on your definition, they're non-sentient, so they can't claim shit.
Damn.
Though there has been, like, years ago there was a declaration made by all countries that no one country could claim the moon.
Yeah.
But in the wording of it, it doesn't say anything about an individual. So there's an individual in the States who wrote a letter to the UN stating that I now own the moon, Mars, and all the other planets.
And
Yeah.
And
no
he's
one
been
cares.
selling property on the moon for fucking years, like made
Yeah.
millions of dollars from it.
It was the same, like the same kind of thing as what was it? The Ancestry, the
Selling
you buy a
stars.
title. Yeah, selling stars. You can buy titles and that kind of stuff. Because the guy who's like, I own the moon, you can buy titles off him as well. You can be a Baron of the Moon.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Like the UN ended up writing him back saying, "We don't recognize your claim," and he wrote him again saying, "I don't care what you think. I own the moon."
Yeah,
like that's just gold. Double down, motherfucker. Good luck.
I can go for it.
Unfortunately, when we actually start doing things for the moon, he's not going to have a leg to stand on.
Yeah,
no, absolutely not.
It's funny though.
It's just it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Right, I think we're done for this week. Although, one little announcement right here at the end.
Yes.
I would highly suggest tuning back in tomorrow. After the day after this goes live, I would suggest turning in the following day at 5 o'clock, and maybe there'll be a little something new.
A little surprise.
Dun dun dun.
So you're just gonna have to tune in to find out what that is.
At all.
It turns out it's just John Doe in his skivvies dancing to the Rickroll.
I'll show you my other hand clapping. Twerk, motherfucker, twerk.
Look, Dan's clapping, no hands.
The sound of no hands clapping. Yes.
But
we are why we can't have nice things.
We have something new starting, and it'll be posted the day after this one gets posted. Same time, so that'll be 5 o'clock Sunday instead of 5 o'clock Saturday.
Woo. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah.
Alright, y'all have a good one.
Bye!
See ya.